But I want to go back a bit, and this is a little bit more esoteric, maybe. And I just want to hear what your thoughts are. This came to mind, maybe for the first time, so I'm not putting the James Jesso stamp of approval on this necessarily, but I want to introduce it to hear what you say. Um, you're talking about, you're mentioning like being in the present moment, like being in now, and psychedelics sort of like showing this, like we're always in now and what it's like to be in now. And you've also been talking about, at least earlier on in the conversation, deep time and bringing back in the ammonite, and like, oh, this thing is 100, you said 180 million years old, and like the life that exists now, exists in direct connection to this species that stopped existing 180 million years ago. And when I think about being in the present moment, this is way more accessible under larger doses of psychedelics, in my experience. And I've heard, someone else who's been on the show, Christopher Beisch, talk about what he calls deep time in his LSD experiences, is the recognition of like, if the present moment is all that has ever existed, the only thing that exists, and all life that has come to be and ended, and all life that will end so that other life can come to be is also in the present moment, then deep time is something like recognizing that in that present moment, all of existence is, right? The ammonite is right now. And like when you're talking about deep time, do I get the sense that you're connecting with the fact that right here, right now, the ammonite is, its life is, as is all the life that has risen and fallen and all the life that will rise and fall, ad infinitum or whatever.
James, thank you for rescuing my ass, because when I was talking about this at the beginning, exactly what you just said is really, if there's one takeaway from this conversation, you just said it, which is knowing what you just said, not just it's a good idea, but knowing that, to me, has profound implications. The more of us who know what you just said is like, it's awesome. And you also not only help me with let's say, the thesis of this conversation, but also with this terrible paradox, which is that in the eternal now, there's no time. So what is it about this deep time thing? But what you just said is also completely congruent with all of the indigenous teachings I've received, which is all time, all the future and past flow. They exist, as you said, to repeat. The ammonite is now. Its intelligence and its power is now. It's not something that is like unimportant, or it was important then and it's not important anymore. It's like, no, it's here. It's here with us.
And I think I'm feeling called to say this. It's like, and it's not a concept, right? It's not conceptually this is the case. Conceptually we can enable a discussion about it, I suppose. But I think what we're both speaking to is it's not a concept. It is.
It is.
Yeah.
And we can feel the truth of this when we're really connected to our body and the energy flowing into this body mind, and like when we really slow it down so that we're really appreciative of these I was going to say monstrous cognitive abilities that we have, when we're really appreciative of them, but don't mistake them for the real deal. Like they're just a tiny part of this infinite intelligence that we're part of. And it's, yeah, that's another way of saying tapping into that is just luscious. And I don't think we would be speaking to each other if it wasn't for the gift of the psychedelics, who sort of whispered in our ear, like, thought you should know there's like a lot more going on here than just your little thinking minds.
Oh, it makes me think of Dennis McKenna, regularly using the phrase that, the plants, when he goes in, they're always like, "You don't know shit." Like
Exactly. We've been around for millions of years. You're the new kid on the block. Would you just listen a little, would you two-leggeds, would you please just listen a little bit
like, "You
more?
monkeys are running amok over here."
Yeah.
Uh